Welcome everyone. How is your day going? Today on Birth Stories with Victoria, we're going to have an amazing person, amazing guest. Her name is Joy Etor, and she's going to be coming live. If you're new here, my name is Victoria, and I'm a midwife, a childbirth educator, birth coach, and also doula. And if you're thinking of where you could find me, right here on Instagram, and I'm also on YouTube. You'll see it in my bio. Let's get started. I'm so happy and welcome. La Flora Dupes, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me just pin it right here. Birth Story with Victoria. And our guest today is Joy. Joy. Welcome everyone. Let me know in the comment section where you are watching from. And Joy is going to be coming on pretty soon. Let me just post this and pin this up so everybody knows what we're talking about. All right, welcome the Dan David. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name. Let me know where you're watching from. This is coming from Lagos, Nigeria, and Joy is going to be joining. All right, Joy is coming. Yay, Joy is here. Hi, Joy. How are you?
Hi, Victoria.
How are you doing? You look happy as usual.
I'm great.
I love it. How has your day been today?
Very relaxing. I didn't get to do much. I just had to cook and take care of the kids, but nothing much. I had a very busy day yesterday, so today's kind of chilled out.
That's good. I like that. I like when we have like one chill day, you know? I feel like, things just get busy and it's nice when we can have a chill day.
Of course.
All right. Before I have Joy introduce herself, we have people watching from, let's see. We have K Ogu. So sorry if I'm not saying your name right. We have the D Dan David watching from Nigeria. Hi. Welcome. And then we also have student midwife BB joining. Welcome everyone. And those that we don't know where they're watching from, let us know where you're watching from. We would like to know where you're joining us from today. So before we get started, I want to ask my guest to introduce herself.
Oh, thank you. You guys, welcome to this live. I am Joy Etor. I'm a food, fashion, and motherhood blogger and YouTuber in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a content creator here on Instagram and on YouTube as well.
Absolutely. And guys, if you haven't seen our collaboration video, it's up on my channel. So check up on my bio, you'll see it. And also check out Joy's YouTube channel as well. It's on a Instagram live. No, it's on a
Instagram bio.
I'm watching all of this. Go ahead, tell them, Joy. Where can they find your video?
There's a link to my YouTube channel on my Instagram bio, or you can simply go on YouTube and just type Joy Etor, which is my name that you can see. It's just that simple, Joy Etor, and you see my channel. You can feel free to subscribe to my channel. Be sure to anyway. And yeah, that's pretty simple.
I love that. Joy, where are you coming on live from today? What state are you?
Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah, so we're here in Lagos, Nigeria. So we want to see all of our other Lagos fans here. Okay?
Yes,
so
if you guys are watching us
in Nigeria
from Lagos.
you're watching from.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Joy Fugele. Welcome. Let's know where you're watching from. All right, before we start our story today, I wanted to make this really just relaxing and very relatable. And I wanted to ask, what are you thankful for today? Before we start, what are you thankful for? And people watching in the comment, let us know in the comments what you guys are thankful for.
I would say the biggest thing I'm thankful for is the gift of life, because even the Bible makes us to understand that we can't sleep or wake unless God wakes us up. And pretty much anything that you're putting your mind to, or anything that you're aspiring for, if you don't have life, you definitely cannot get them. So I am so grateful to be alive today, grateful for my family, my children, my husband, grateful for life, because nothing compares to that. It is, sometimes we take things for granted, good health, being alive, being strong, being able to do stuff that you would do on a normal day. We take it for granted, and just being alive is a gift. That's a gift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely. We all should be thankful for
Yeah.
life, because
Yeah.
when there is life, there is hope, that you
Definitely.
can do something. I'm thankful for life as well, since you started on the life thing. I'm thankful for life. I'm also thankful for God's presence in my life.
Yeah.
This morning I was reminiscing, thinking about my life and about how, when God has done something, you sometimes think like, oh, I want God to do this and do that and do that. And God, I haven't been seeing your hands in my life. And I'm like, Victoria, stop. Let's think. And when I thought about it, like, I've seen God being present and just glorifying himself
Yeah.
over and over and over again. And I think we forget sometimes, and that's not good, because
it's
then
it's
our
it's
problems.
really it's really not. Like, most recently I had to sit down and I had to think about God, because I feel like we think we can box him up and, like, tell God what we want and how we want it and when we want it. And when all of that doesn't happen, we tend to feel like, oh, God has forgotten us. I feel like the greatest thing is he's God, whether he answers you or not, regardless. And that's like one of the most beautiful thing about God. And what I have been able to learn in life is that there are certain things that you're praying for, you're believing God for, and because they were not granted, like your prayer wasn't granted, you sort of feel like God has forgotten you. But what you don't understand is, because he is God, he has seen in the future that you don't need what you're asking for right now. All right? You probably asking for a husband right now, and God has seen. Maybe you have someone you're dating, right? And you're like, I want him to propose. But God is seeing that if this guy proposes to you, you're not gonna make it to the altar. Or you know what? Something is gonna happen in that marriage, and you're gonna be like, Lord, I wish I didn't marry this person. He has seen that, but you are not. You're constantly living in the now. But because he is God and he can see tomorrow, he's not going to grant that request, because he can see your tomorrow. And he has a better plan for your tomorrow. That's God. That's like the most beautiful thing about God. And when you come to the understanding of this, you just sort of ask him to give you the grace to let his will be done. Because in the end, he is God and he knows best.
Absolutely. Amen. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Right?
Itetomi Oriofeoluwa's Corner, Mavi's mommy, thank you so much for joining. Let us know where you're watching from. And
I can see my people over here. Mavis mommy, thank you. Aurel Luas Corner, God bless you. I can see you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Igasidi Femi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let us know what you're thankful for in the comment. And yes, keep on with the heart sign. Give this a heart, give it a thumbs up. And that's how Instagram pushes this video out so other people can see it. Oriofe Oluwa's Corner. You're watching from Dubai.
From Dubai.
Welcome.
Oh, Mavis mommy is watching from Cameroon.
Wow. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
All right, let's get this started.
All right.
Joy, I know you have 3 beautiful kids.
Yeah.
Very beautiful girls.
Thank you.
Tell us about the highlight in the pregnancy of your first baby.
Oh wow. That would be Trinity, my first. That would be 6 years ago.
And how old is Trinity?
She's 6 now. 6 plus. She will be 7 by March next year. So yeah, she's a big girl. I feel like the highlight of the pregnancy was you just being pregnant and feeling the kicks and that baby in you, because it was my first pregnancy, and you read up a lot of stuff, you watch a lot of stuff, but nothing compares to actually having that feeling in you. So the highlight was, feeling the child in me, the kicks, the cravings, just waking up and glowing, because truthfully, for my first pregnancy, I was glowing and you couldn't tell me nothing. I was wearing jeans. I just made sure that I looked beautiful all the time, and I didn't look pregnant. There's nothing bad in looking pregnant, but I just didn't want to let myself go. So, my first pregnancy was just amazing. I was looking forward to, betting my child, becoming a mom for the first time, and it was just amazing. The pregnancy throughout was beautiful. I didn't have like any head scares or whatever. Like, I was just such in a good health and everything. And yeah, that's my first pregnancy was nice.
Wow, that's amazing. If you're watching and you can relate to your first pregnancy, just being like a smooth journey, it wasn't like you were pregnant, you were slaying, you were wearing your jeans. Let us know in the comment section if you can relate to that. All
Yeah.
right. So my second question would be, how was it different from your second pregnancy?
Oh, okay. For the first, you don't really know what to expect. I was reading up everything I could get on Google. I was,
Dr.
subscribed to a lot
Google.
of websites. I was watching betting videos. I just wanted to know, what is it that I'm doing? What is it that I have to do? Pretty much. And for the second, you already have the experience. All right. You pretty much know what to do. You pretty much know when you're supposed to like expect to start feeling movements in your belly, how your body is going to change and all of that. So for my first, I had severe indigestion from the first month to the third month. And my doctor said it's going to stop by the second trimester and you should be fine. So when I got pregnant with my second, I already knew that I was going to have indigestion for the first 3 months. And as such, I prepped myself for that. So I knew what to eat, what to stay away from, how much water I should drink, and all of that. And that's like the difference. You already have an experience, And for my second, I would say that it was filled with a lot of fear. Fear from what I had experienced for my first after she was born. So I had so much fear in me. I constantly was telling myself, this second is not going to be like the first. What happened to the first is not going to happen to the second. And as such, I took precautions for every little thing. All right. I I felt like I was trying to undo whatever it is that I thought I didn't do for the first, for the second. And yeah, it was more like, you have an experience, you've learned from this, so use this experience on this one, pretty much. And a lot of things that I'm supposed to be like anxious about, I could be calm about them because I already experienced them with the first.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. You mentioned something, you mentioned fear, and I want us to talk a little bit about fear, because fear is something that a lot of people, a lot of us, me included, we face on daily basis. But before we talk about fear, Mavi's mommy said something, and Joy, you can go ahead and read it.
She said, jeans, kwa. I couldn't even stand pants. My dear, I have pictures showing me wearing jeans for my first, my second, and my third. All right.
Wow.
That's how much I rocked jeans throughout my pregnancy. As a matter of fact, I didn't wear dresses. I didn't spend money on maternity dresses at all. I didn't like them. And for the fact that after pregnancy, you just keep them in the wardrobe, they're not really doing much. So what I did was, I sized up when it comes to clothes that I have to wear and all of that. And I was just pretty much wearing my basic stuff. I wasn't really big in size, except my tummy in front. So I didn't like maternity wear. I was wearing jeans all through.
I love it. I love it. Upper Grace join. Upper Grace, welcome. Let us know where you're watching from. All right, let's talk about fear.
Yeah.
Let's talk about fear. how would you say you faced your fear? Like, what helped you? Like, what you really feared about, did it actually come to pass?
The thing is, you know, there are a lot of, we are a physical being, but there's a spiritual part of us. There's a spiritual aspect of us. And I'll say that there's something I always say for those that really like close to me. I always refer to Job. He said, what I feared the most happened to me. So, which means when you allow fear to conquer you, it starts to manifest. And you think, oh, it's because I already sensed it. No, the devil is using fear as a tool to cause those things to manifest in your life. We have not been given the spirit of fear, but of faith, all right, and of a strong will. So what helped me overcome that fear wasn't that physically there were so many reasons to be scared. I had so many reasons to be scared. And, you know, I didn't get to start antenatal till the 6th month of that pregnancy. And by the way, she will be 4 years next week, Tuesday, which is the 23rd.
Oh, that's
she's
exciting.
she's gonna be 4. And how I faced my fear was pretty much being strong in God. Okay, the relationship that you have with God personally is what is going to see you through. Your doctors can say one thing, your pastor can be saying another thing. You know, you can have a team of pastors around you praying with you and all of that, but how you are going to go through that is your relationship with God and the conviction that you have about yourself and God. I'm going to say one thing. Throughout her pregnancy, I kept having dreams of seeing myself give birth, and I hand over the baby to my husband and I tell him, move on with your life, get married to so and so person, this is goodbye. All right? I kept having those dreams. I had those dreams like 10 or 12 times throughout the pregnancy. It was scary. I remember one time I woke up from a dream, and then the thing is, once I have those dreams, I just defeat it with, it's never going to happen. And I try to get it out of my heart, and I don't deal with it. Like, I don't think about it. But there was a particular one I had, and when I woke up, I was, you know, overwhelmed with fear. And my husband said, what's the problem? I said, this is the dream I had. I am in shock, and I'm going to church today. That day was a Sunday. And I went to church, even though I didn't physically feel like. On getting to church, my pastor, during worship, he called me out and he said, I need the church to pray over this woman because I see an obituary and I see 2 caskets, herself and her baby, the baby in the womb. So I am not going to bury her. I'm not going to officiate her burial. You guys pray for her. At that point, I was crying and laughing because I had a similar dream, which is why I came to church that day. And my pastor was telling me this. So it was more like, oh, so there's really whatever, there's something going on to make sure that you don't come out of this pregnancy. And after the service, he prayed with me. He held my hands and he prayed with me. And he kept telling me, you can go through this. And I told myself, I don't care what the devil is saying. I don't care what is happening around me. I am going to carry this child in my hand and we're going to be fine. Okay, so the biggest thing that helped me overcome my fear was me just believing in God and believing that nothing concerning my circumstance was going to manifest. Pretty much, I have been created for glory, and that is what is going to be made manifest. So when it comes to fear, fear is strong. It's a powerful tool. The devil uses it all the time, whether you're a student, whether you're married, whether you're pregnant, you know, whatever phase of your life, fear is going to come as a tool. The devil is going to constantly use it, you know, tell you stuff. There's even going to be like physical stuff to confirm that fear. But through faith in God, you can overcome that fear. You can overcome whatever it is that you're scared of. So it was more about my faith in God than anything else. Because physically, there was nothing to give me strength. So it was just me believing God.
Wow. Joy, you mentioned something. You mentioned faith. And faith is so important. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, because today, not only in pregnancy, like you said, you know, in marriage, for students, for, I don't know, career, like fear is something that the devil uses to control people. Always. And fear is not of God. It's not of God. At all. And so it's so important that we just go back in prayer. we go back to our faith, and I know God would always, always help us overcome.
Yeah,
fear.
it's not easy, trust me. Like I said, I was having dreams back to back. I was having prophecies. People walk up to me and they tell me, Madam, pray that nothing happens to you during this pregnancy. Okay, so every time I was fighting the thought in my head, there was something in front of me reminding me of what I was fighting. So it is not easy, all right? Today, I still deal with fear. I deal with fear over my kids. I deal with fear over my future. I deal with fear over my marriage. Pretty much, it is something that you're going to always deal with. But of course, some moments are more intense than others. And just constantly remind yourself of God. Remind yourself that Christ has paid the price for you. Remind yourself that you are a house upon a hill that cannot be hidden. And he says, there was one prayer I kept praying. I said, because I bear on my body the mark of Christ, let no power trouble.
Amen. Amen.
All right. So no matter what it is that you're facing, always remind yourself, because I feel like that's the privilege we have as Christians. That's the privilege we have to be children of God, because we can believe in stuff. We can hold on to stuff that look like foolishness to other people. But to us, we know it's not foolishness. We know it is going to go through. And, everything that I believed, everything that I held on to during that pregnancy, everything manifested. Everything manifested, all right? My doctor was saying you have to go for a C-section. I said, no, let me be induced, all right? And I'll be fine.
Wow.
It was just God and me trusting that God was going to see me through. Because if I had let go of that faith in God, I would let man do whatever it is that they want to do with me. And who knows, maybe I won't be here today. All right. So it's a constant battle. You constantly have to remind yourself that this is a battle. The Bible says that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. So the principalities and powers, they don't stop. They don't have days off. They're constantly there. So you have to remind yourself that they are not stopping. I'm not going to stop. All right. So that's it.
Wow. So powerful. If you can, in the comment, if you can relate to what Joy is saying, if you faced fear before, if you've had to use faith to conquer your fear, let us know in the comment section. Let us know what it is in the comment section. And by the way, welcome to Okwe Grace, Semiduru, Kamlo, Event, Voice of Ruby, SREYS. Welcome all you guys.
Welcome.
So if you're here, let us know in the comments where you're watching from.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Okay, so let's talk about something else.
Okay.
So you have 3 kids and you've talked to us about the first 2. Tell us about the last one. Tell us how you knew you got pregnant.
Oh my God, I already shared that on your channel. You guys, you need to go over to her YouTube channel and watch that video. But I'm going to share it here again. I didn't know I was pregnant for my 3rd. I was doing my 2nd baby's first birthday. So I had, prepared this beautiful in-house 1-year party for her. And the next morning, my husband was not around. So the next morning, I tried to get up from the bed and I was empty, which is how I know I get pregnant, because I don't have morning sickness. I don't get up and start to throw up and all of that stuff. But when I wake up in the morning and I am literally shaking and hungry like I've not eaten for days, I know something is there. So when I woke up, I'm like, this cannot be a result of the party yesterday. Something is not right. Something is not right. I felt empty. And I'm like, is it because I was breastfeeding? I was trying to find excuses for it, but I knew what that feeling was. So I was scared because my 2nd just turned 1 and I wasn't mentally or physically prepared for another baby. As a matter of fact, I didn't want another baby at that time. I pretty much just wanted to go on with my life and, build a career and stuff like that. So I went ahead to a pharmacy and I just bought a PT strip. I think it was 17 naira or so. I was nervous.
That must be a long time ago for it to be 17 naira.
That's 4 years. That's 4 years, over 4 years. Oh, okay, no, 2 years now. She's 2 years plus. So I got it for 70 or 80 naira. you know, those really small, tiny ones. And, you know, I just went in the bathroom. Before I could dip it in, I was shaking, I was sweating. My heart was skipping, like, please come out negative, just come out negative. Before I could bring it out, it was positive. I'm like,
Ooh.
wow, I'm in trouble right now. The next thing, I picked up my phone and I called my husband and said, honey, how are you? He said, it's fine. I said, where are you? He's like, this one, you're sounding like this. I need to talk to you. He's like, okay, what is going on? Are you pregnant? I said, yes. And he said,
Wow.
I felt it. I just felt like you were pregnant, or you were going to get pregnant. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? And yeah, that was how I found out. I was still breastfeeding my second. She was just a year. I felt really bad I still feel bad because I feel like I made her grow up too fast. Because I had to stop breastfeeding. I pretty much just made her grow up, like just become a toddler, all right, or like you're walking already, start your life and all of that. But yeah, that's how I found out I was pregnant.
Wow, that's so amazing. So we're going to talk about not knowing, like unplanned pregnancy. I know that we talked about it on my channel, and so if you want a full gist, head over there and see it after this.
Someone is asking that you read his
go
name.
ahead, read it, Joy.
Okay, your name is SRE or EY_AS. Like, I don't know how to pronounce the full thing, but you have underscore after, you know, letters. Welcome. Let us know where you're watching us from.
Absolutely.
Okay, Orel Oluwa's gonna say, why would you feel bad? Some people get pregnant when they are 3 months. See, the thing is, when that shock hits you, you go through a lot of emotions at that time. All right?
You're right.
Like, ooh, why am I pregnant? How am I pregnant? I didn't plan for it. It's a lot, but after a while, you just realize that, you know what? It's here. This is a baby and you get it. But when I say I felt bad, it wasn't like, oh, God forbid, not me, not that bad, but I just wish that I planned it differently, specifically because my baby was just a year and I felt like she still needed some time. She still needed to just be around me more. Now, getting pregnant would mean stopping her breastfeeding because I have to watch my strength and, you know, just starting all over again. See, let me tell you something, right? Pregnancy is like 9 months or 40 weeks, but I literally feel like it's a whole year. All right, truthfully, because it takes
it's a long time.
It takes a year of your life. You get pregnant. If you have your baby at 40 weeks, you go through like the first 3 months of the newborn where they're so clingy. You're going through a lot. You're not resting. You're not sleeping well. You're breastfeeding and everything. And it's just a lot. Okay, now she's saying, now I'm just saying that so you forgive yourself for making her. Oh, I have. Her birthday is next week, Tuesday. She will be 4. And my second and my third are like, they are besties. All right. They are besties. And I feel like it was just the perfect time to give her a sibling because they play together. They pretty much do everything together. So yes, I have forgiven myself. Like, it's past now.
I love it.
Thank you for the questions, though. Thank you for engaging.
Absolutely. So I know there is SR_EY_AS that wants us to read his name. I think he's a man, or I think
he's a man.
And I can't say it right, so you have to forgive us. I'm going to have Joy also give it a try, but I'll say it's Malayalai from India. Welcome. Joy, want to give his name a try?
Like it's the SR_EY_AS. That's pretty much what your handle is saying right now. So welcome. Let us know if you have any questions.
Absolutely. So guys, if you have any questions for Joy or for me, go ahead and leave them in the comment and we would get to it as we are rounding up this. Let's see. My last two questions would be, if you do have another baby, no pressure, but if you
Yeah.
do have another baby, what would you do different in your next childbirth if you
Oh,
do have that?
a lot. If I do have another baby, I would say I would not rush anything. With regards to completely immersing yourself in pregnancy, delivery, and of course, like healing after delivery, I would I would be more calm about everything. There's always that like rush about, oh, I haven't done this about my pregnancy, I haven't done that about my pregnancy, and then when you give birth, there's so much pressure to show that you're strong. I've snapped back and all of that. I feel like I would do that differently. Also, I would do my delivery differently because all three of my babies, I've had them in the hospital, which is not bad. But I do have a part of me that wants to try with a home birth.
Woo!
If I, yeah, I do want to experience a home birth. And one thing I would definitely do differently is my husband will be present in the delivery, like in the delivery.
Love it, love it, love it.
I would want
And
him
that
there
would
when
be
the baby's
so
coming
great.
out.
We love when
And
our dads are there. Go ahead, Joy.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. So, as we're rounding off, what would you advise family that are expecting right now, or they're pregnant, or they have an unplanned pregnancy and they just realize that they're pregnant?
Should we answer this before we answer the questions? Because we have like 3 questions here.
Yes, we should. We should.
Okay, so do you think most women in Lagos enjoy hospital birth, more specifically medicalized birth? Now, I'm going to be very honest with you, midwife boo. I'm going to be very honest with you. I've heard stories about women delivering in general hospitals here in Lagos, and all of the stories have been so scary. All of them have been scary.
And Joy, when you say general, so sorry, just because we have other people watching that are not Nigerians, when you say general hospital, you mean the public hospital, right?
Yes, like the public government-owned hospitals. Okay. The stories that come out from there are never funny. Now, the thing is, the last thing a pregnant woman needs, whether you are married, you're single, or however it is that you got into that point, the last thing a pregnant woman needs while in labor is somebody that is unprofessional and completely unaware of your emotional needs at that point. Because majority of these hospitals have nurses and midwives that will talk to you like you don't matter. They're going to tell you, going to tell you stuff. You're in labor and you're like, I'm in labor, it's, I'm feeling pains. And then you hear somebody telling you, oh, the pain has not started. When it starts, you will know. I'm not joking.
I'm so sorry. That's so sad.
They're going to tell you, when it starts, you're going to know. You don't even know anything yet. You are still wearing clothes. When the real pain starts, you will know. Nobody will tell you. You will remove all the clothes on your body. All right? You're going to hear stuff like that. When it is the time to push, they are not going to be sensitive to you as a human being. They make it seem like either they are forced to be there or it is a must watch your... There is no empathy. Let me use that word. There is no sort of like empathy towards you for what you're going through at that point. That is what happens in majority of the hospitals in Lagos. But, and that's the story I have heard. That is the experience I have seen before I started giving birth. So when I wanted to give birth, I went to a different kind of hospital. When you want that beautiful birthing experience, you would have to pay differently for it. Like, you're not going to get it from the government hospitals. So I went to a specialist hospital. I went to a Catholic hospital where they care about life. Not once did any midwife, nurse, or doctor scream at me. Not once did I have that, like, oh, madam, what is wrong with you? When I needed to throw up, they would bring me something to throw up and they would tell me sorry. They will make sure I'm fine. They will ask me, do you want water? How are you feeling? When I said I needed to poo, they will ask me, okay, you know what? Let's check you to be sure it's not the baby that's coming out. And when they're done checking, they'll be like, okay, now you can go to the restroom. It was very respectful. It was very, very respectful. That's one thing I'm going to say. And when it came to the delivery proper, nobody was telling me stuff. Nobody was using demeaning words at me. People were actually being nice and loving towards me, and it sort of made the betting easier, because if I have to be scared of you, if you have to scream at me and make me feel like we're quarreling or something, it's gonna make it harder. All right, which made the bet of my second like really, really more special, because I felt like the midwife was doing what a midwife and a doula should do, but she didn't know the difference, because she was there giving me emotional support, she was giving me physical support. At the same time, she was delivering my child, and it just
God bless her. Wherever she is, God bless her for doing
I'm telling you. So wherever, like, it just made the whole experience a lot easier and a lot calmer for me, because every time I'll be like, I can't do this, she's like, you can. I understand what you're going through. It's going to hurt, but you'll be fine. Your baby's going to come out soon and all of that. That was the experience I had. That's the experience I've had 3 times. But I know of women that have gone to like regular hospitals in Lagos State, and they tell you some have lost their babies. Some of them, oh, let me give you an example. When it was time to birth my first, my midwife said, I am not going to give you an episiotomy. Like, I'm not going to cut you. Yeah, I feel like this baby can come out without me cutting you. And the nurse next to her was saying, but she's a first timer. Just cut her. Which is normally what they would do in these government hospitals. Once they just go through your file, they're like, oh, she's a primate, it's her first time. They just cut you. Whether you could have done it yourself or not. That goes to show you how they, they just want to bring that baby out and, you get out. That's it. There's no emotion at all. There's no attachment. And it makes it tough on the woman. And sometimes you could have you could go into depression, postnatal depression, as a result of that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm gonna say for that. I medicalized birth in Lagos, depending on the hospital that you are using, depending on the hospital and the staff. Because sometimes you could even go to a good hospital, but the staff, they're just horrible. So pretty much do your research. If you have people that you can ask, I would say go to the hospital on days where they have antenatal. So you can ask the people that have gone through, their betting and know firsthand what it's like betting in such a hospital. But that's just the general thing, though. Yeah. Should I?
Thank you, Joy.
Yeah, let me answer more. She said, okay, Orel Feoluwa's corner said, so he was not present for any of the 3. He was present for my first, but they didn't let him, and I didn't insist on him being inside because I was dealing with the pain at that point, and I didn't know what I wanted at that point, and I didn't state it out clearly. So he was by the door while our baby was coming out. So yeah, that's for that. And Midwife Boo says, I know because I've seen it with my own eyes. I tell you. So would you say that because the option of more humanized care is not easily available is the issue? If there was a birth center, do you think these women would go? Oh, it depends on the birth center you are talking about. We have local birth centers. These are traditionalists that birth babies, and believe it or not, a lot of people actually patronize them, and a lot of people lose their lives in the process because these people are not they're not medically inclined in any way and all of that, and people can start bleeding and they don't know what to do and all of that. But if you're saying how will I put it, a very good, experienced betting center where everything they do is about bet, would people go? Trust me, a lot of women will go. I feel like I've talked to a lot of women when it comes to deliveries, and we are tired of being treated as we did something wrong when you're trying to give birth. We did nothing wrong. We're trying to bring a human to life. So the least you can do is show us some sort of love in that process. And unless you're not human, or you've not gone through that pain, you can't really understand. Like, giving birth is a pain that you can't explain. I know some people have the privilege of getting epidurals and stuff, but having it naturally is the worst kind of pain. At the same time, it's the most beautiful kind of pain, because you're betting life in the process. But trust me, it is not easy. So when somebody is screaming and you're telling them, shut up, why are you screaming like that? It has not even reached when you should scream. I feel like you should come and feel the pain, so you know if you're going to scream or not. So yes, I do feel like if there's a birth center, women would definitely go there. Women will. I would go to a center where I know it's just betting, and you know what you're doing. Like, maybe it's a midwife, it's a doula, like, you know what you're doing. You have everything in place for my safety, for my baby's safety. I would definitely go. She said that episode to me is not even evidence-based. God have mercy. I'm telling you, they will just cut you straight when it's your first. They did it to my younger sister when she was having her first. They didn't even ask questions, all right? The minute they saw the baby was crowning, the next thing they did was to cut her.
And that's so sad, because you're always learning to ask. You have to ask, and ask, because this is a woman's body.
They don't give you the option to ask. The thing with the medical practice in Nigeria is doctors, nurses, and even midwives, they act as they are gods. So you're supposed to worship them. Every decision they are taking, you're supposed to just accept it as they are taking these decisions for you, for your own well-being. So you don't ask questions. For example, your baby is sick and you go to the hospital, or you go for immunization and you're trying to inquire, what is my baby being immunized against today? What are you dropping in the baby's mouth? You first get this eye of, why are you asking?
Why are you asking?
Yeah, like,
that's
why
so
are you
sad.
asking?
Like,
This
why
is
would
my
you not ask?
This is my child,
like,
and
why
that's
are you
how
picking my baby?
That's how they behave. So when you are in labor and maybe they're doing something, you're like, madam, what are you doing? They're like, I'm trying to help you. You're asking me what I'm doing, that kind of stuff. They have this mentality of playing God, pretty much, and that makes it really, really hard. They just take certain decisions without thinking about it. My midwife was like, she can bet this baby without having a cut. This baby can come out and she's going to do it. And that was what she did. So I never had a cut for any of my babies, all three of them. And It wasn't even because of their weight, because my first was about 3.4 or 3.2. My second was 3.7, and my third was 4 kg. But none of these did I have a cut, because my midwives believed in me and we pretty much worked as a team. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Joy, for sharing the reality of most normal, regular Nigerian women. And I just want to say I'm sorry, like, to hear that, because midwifery is not like that. We're not trained like that. We're not trained like that. We're trained to have sympathy and empathy. And
I don't know where the Nigerian midwives get their training, but trust me, Victoria, if you happen to be in a room where a normal Nigerian midwife is taking delivery, you're going to be sick to your bones. You're pretty much going to tell her, you know what, get out of this room and let me do it myself, because they just go about it the wrong way. They go about it the wrong way. And it's even worse if maybe you're not married, like maybe teenage pregnancy or stuff like. All right, everyone says Joy can answer questions in detail. Thank you. I try.
Yeah, midwife go. I don't know where they kept their training.
I don't know where they get it. I'm telling you, like, if it's a teenage pregnancy, for example, they're like, look at this one. When you were doing it, you did not know that you would shout. You did not know. Who told you to do it? Why did you do it? My friend, shut up your mouth and open your legs. You will get all sorts of stuff like that. And it's not fair. It's not proper. Like, they need
it's not
complete...
ethical.
It's
not professional.
It's not. They don't know. Like I said, I don't know where they get their training from, but whoever it is that has passed it on to them has done a very, very big harm to women, because you're in labor, and you know you're being screamed at, you're being told to shut up, you know, you're being told like, oh, I remember they will tell you, why are you shouting? You're just 4 cm. What will you do when you're 8 cm? Be there.
And I think it's also maybe the culture. Do you think it's a cultural thing? Like maybe as Nigerians, we like to be sarcastic. So maybe in their sarcasticness, it's like, you know, you'll be fine. Just, you know, but
Yeah,
that's not nice. That's not.
It's a mix of that, and also the fact that they don't understand completely what their profession entails. Do you understand? If you know that as a nurse, you are supposed to be a certain way to your patients, and that this is how you are supposed to do it ethically, you're going to follow that through. But when you don't completely understand what it takes for your profession, you're just going to do anything. Or when you think, like I said earlier, they try to play God. All right, she believes that she's there helping you, right? Some women have gone ahead to bet their baby right in their room, not even in the delivery room, because you are screaming and telling this midwife, I can feel this baby coming out. And the midwife is telling you, you've only been in labor for 2 hours. You cannot possibly be having the baby. And then as she turns around to try to go, your baby comes out. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a lot of them just play God. They feel like they're doing you a favor by being there. So as such, you're supposed to listen to them. You're supposed to obey them. Anything they say, whatever they say, you're just supposed to go by it. All right? Some women will go as far as telling you, I kept telling the midwife that something is wrong, and she's telling me, am I going to tell her job? Because when it comes to delivery, you, the midwife, you're doing the professional part, but the woman can feel certain things in her body. You can tell when something is right or when something is not right. Yes, the pain might be getting the better part of you, but you can still tell certain things, and your midwife is supposed to work hand in hand with you. But typical Nigerian midwives don't work with you. As a matter of fact, they need you to shut up so they can just go through with the birth, bring the baby out, and that's it.
You're not a robot. You need to talk. You need to.
They don't even understand that you're supposed to do like skin to skin as soon as your baby comes out. Like they're supposed to put that baby on you. They take that child away, and the next thing is open your leg. Let's bring the placenta out and all of that. There's so much unprofessionalism in the system. There's so much sarcasm in the system, and there's no empathy from a lot of them. From a whole lot of them. Like, I feel bad for women that have to go to regular government hospitals, or like, you know, this, you know, neighborhood little hospitals.
Absolutely.
Because the people you're going to meet there, first off, they are living off their frustration on you. I think that's one part I need to point out, because they are living off their frustration on you. They're not well paid. The hospitals or the centers are not in good condition, and as such, they're stressed, they're frustrated. So any little thing, they're going to take that out on you, the patient, because they just have to vent. All right, they're going to take it out, because some of them, when you're done giving birth and they're looking at this beautiful baby, they become like a different person. They become calm, and they're like, your baby is so pretty, congratulations. You can't believe this is the same person. You can't believe this is the same person that was screaming at you, like, you know, 2-3 minutes ago and all of that. So I feel like a lot of them take out their frustrations on the patients, and all of that just boils down to the difficulty in living in Nigeria, pretty much. We just need to try more to be like more empathic to our neighbors, like to everybody around us and all of that. And when it comes to birthing, when it comes to a woman being pregnant or giving birth, like Lagosians, I know Lagosians for a fact that they can care for you. Like, you get into a bus and you're pregnant, somebody is going to stand up for you and be like, Iyabeji, which is mother of twins, right?
Aww.
Because every pregnant woman is considered Iyabeji. I enjoyed people calling me that when I was pregnant, I'm not gonna lie. So somebody is going to stand up for you and be like, come sit down, you know. You go to the market women are going to be like, oh, Iyabeji, and all of that. Lagosians can be
Oh,
so sweet to you when you are pregnant, but the delivery room is a
it's
different thing. I feel
another
like they need
thing.
like a whole reorientation, pretty much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Joy, thank you so much for sharing that. If you're in the comments and if you've experienced this or you understand what we're talking about, let us know in the comment. Let us know what you think about this and how you think nurses, midwives, doctors can change
Yeah.
in Nigeria, because it's real, and I have experienced it actually myself. I think it is passed down. The way you're treated as a student midwife, you treat the next student midwife like that, and the
Mm-hmm.
way you talk to patients, the same way the other students learning, they would also
Yeah.
do the same thing.
Yeah.
Welcome to all the new people here, the Unserious Genius, Student Midwife
Welcome.
Jam, Gigi Signature, welcome, welcome. Let us know where you're watching from. We love you
Welcome.
guys. We're so thankful you're here. Um, so as I was saying, in my when I was taught, in my schooling, it was always empathy. I mean, you can even be sued. Like, how dare you say something to a woman in labor? You can be sued for that. They
I
could
wish
say,
we
I
had
don't
that
want
here.
you to come to my birth anymore. Like,
Mm.
there's a lot that can happen, but that's abroad. So maybe that's why it's different. It's specifically in the US. And I know for me, I feel for the mother, because there's something we call dystocia. Dystocia means difficulty in something. So we have shoulder dystocia, which is when the baby's shoulder cannot come out because it's
Yeah.
stuck behind the pubic bone in your
Yeah.
pelvis. We also have something we call family dystocia or emotional dystocia. So in Nigeria, I don't even know how this works, because I have seen it when I'm practicing and there's a mom, maybe a husband, she and her husband, they have an issue and she's supposed to birth a baby. She would not. She will stop dilating because there's an issue. There's something stressing her. And
Yeah.
until she deals with that, then she can progress in labor.
Yeah.
I have seen those things with my own eyes. It reminds me of this birth I was at. We were called around, I think, 5 a.m. in the morning, and she was even a multi gravida, which means she's had lots of babies.
Babies.
I think this was like our fifth baby, so it was
Wow.
gonna be easy.
Yeah.
We're like, we're gonna have a baby soon. Around 4 in the afternoon, nothing. She was still at 5 centimeters. And
Wow.
the husband came to me. This was a home birth in the US. The husband came to me and said, I don't know why my mother-in-law, she's with my wife all the time. I want to be with her. And I was like, that was when it clicked in my head that that's true. It's been only the mother-in-law that's been with this lady
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time. And the kids were around as well. So there was a lot going on. She wasn't able to just focus on herself and this baby and her husband, because the husband is part of the equation. That's
Yeah.
how the baby got there in the first place, right? She couldn't
Yeah.
raise the baby all by herself. Right?
Personally, I would not want to have my mom in the same room where I'm Betty. Like back here, they tell you stuff about when you're in labor, you don't shout. You just bear the pain. When you shout for your first, you're gonna shout throughout all your deliveries. And you know what? For my first, I kept remembering all this advice. You don't shout when you're in labor. You just keep quiet. And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
I'm gonna keep quiet. And my husband is like, the woman in the next room is shouting. Honey, you are not shouting. What's going on? I was like, keep quiet. Don't talk to me. I can't shout. But let me tell you,
Oh my goodness.
for my
Oh,
third,
I feel
for my
sorry. I'm
third,
sorry.
I was screaming the hospital down. I was screaming. So,
You
so
have cookies outside the door.
I was crazy. One of the nurses said, Joy, you are screaming. I said, let me shout. Let me shout. Do you know what I'm passing through? Let me shout.
I love
So,
it.
if I had my mom in that room with me, she's definitely going to be like, oh, don't shout. Oh, don't stretch. You have to bear it. You know, all that stuff. And what you need the most when you are in labor is peace and support. That's what's going to help you go through it. peace and support.
Absolutely.
Somebody there reassuring you that you're doing the right thing, your body is doing the right thing, and all of this will be over soon, even though it doesn't look like that. All right? I feel like that's what you need the most when you are betting. Not someone that's going to be telling you, suck it all in, you know? Bear the pain. Be a strong woman. There ain't no strong woman when you're giving birth. There ain't no strong woman there. Gosh, that thing is painful.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you can either come and relate to what we're talking about,
please let us know.
Emoji. Go ahead. Go ahead, Joy.
Let us know.
All right. So let me finish my story and we'll round up.
Yeah.
So when the husband came to me, I figured out like, okay, something is not going well with this family. There's something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
And so I told the grandmother to take the rest of the kids and go to the park where they could, you know, like play, and to leave the husband and the wife alone. Long story short, they came together. They talked about whatever they needed to talk about. 2 hours later, we had the baby.
Wow. Wow.
And so for me, I really believe there's something called emotional dystocia. If your mind is not at peace, if you're scared about something, if you have a grudge about something, if there's something surrounding the birth that you just don't feel peace about, I believe you cannot progress. And that's why for me, if you don't feel empathy, if you don't feel peace, if you don't feel supported, like how do these women do it? How do they do it in those hospitals when people are mean? How? I have no idea.
You just go through the meanness, like they're screaming at you, they're telling you stuff, and you're like, you know what, let me just do what I have to do. You just keep remembering that the baby is yours anyway, and you have to go through this. It's really hard. It's really, really hard. I'm not even going to lie to you. When you talk to these women one-on-one, you discover that, you know, something is messed up. We keep up this whole thing about something is not right, but we live with it, and as such, we pass it on to others. If it's not right, it's not right. All right.
It's not right.
Don't treat me. Don't treat me like I'm less of a human, or you know, you can do it better than me, or what. There's always that I can do it better than you, or you don't have to do it this way. I'm human and I'm being myself. At that point, the least you can do is be supportive. Yeah, just be supportive and just help me go through this, because it's not going to last forever anyway. You know, just be supportive. It's a lot of emotional torture for women that have gone through this. It's a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as we're rounding up, if there's any midwives from Nigeria watching or wherever you are, please just let us be empathetic. This is our job. This is our profession. And more than it's a job and profession, I think as humans, we are to be empathetic. We have to sympathize with people. Don't make their ordeal harder than it should be, right? Please do not make that happen. I just wanted to say thank you so much, Joy. It's been such a joyful occasion, a joyful time with you. You are exactly what your name says.
Thank you, Victoria.
Oruko Loromo. So your Oruko Oroyin, which means your name, it's your character. So I love it.
Victoria is speaking Yoruba now.
Yes. So thank you so much. I look forward to us doing more of this. Joy, just before we go, can you tell them what you do, how they can find you, how they can support you?
Oh, wow. Pretty much you can find me here on Instagram, Joy Etor, and you can find me on YouTube, which is where I need your biggest support, all right? I'm on YouTube as Joy Etor, and I share amazing content over there. If I have to blow my own trumpet, I share amazing recipes. I give you vlogs, like regular Nigerian family vlogs that would make you feel like, you know, the girl next door is just like me, and pretty much like life is beautiful. And I share amazing chit chat videos, you know, where I sit down and I talk with you guys. So please go over to my YouTube channel, Joy Etor, subscribe, watch my videos, give it a thumbs up. The goal is to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. I know the year is almost
we can do this, guys.
Anything is possible. So please, here on Instagram, like my posts, help share them on your stories. And yeah, pretty much that's how you can support me. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you guys for the questions. Thank you for making it engaging. I really appreciate this. Victoria, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, this is the end of the show today. Thank you again for watching. If you're watching the replay, don't forget to engage as well. See you on our next episode. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.